Sexual fantasies are an area I think we have particular difficulty with in terms of sharing our sexual fantasies with other people. I mean, I can speak about sexual fantasies on what I've read in books, different people have published, where people have done research and asked people what their sexual fantasies were abroad, for example. But it's very difficult. People don't volunteer their sexual fantasies, in my experience, like talking to people about sex over 30 years. When I do ask about sexual fantasies, they're very reluctant to share them. So it seems to be an area that people have particular difficulties with. And I'd say guilt is the main difficulty, because now they would happily, relatively happily talk about sexual fantasies as they walk along the street, or about a particular person they met and found attractive, and the sexual daydreams, if you like, that they would have about them. But what people have particular problems with is using sexual fantasies when they're actually having sex with another person. In other words, fantasies about people or situations that aren't part of the here and now. And they often say they feel it's a betrayal of the other person, and often their partners would express the same feeling, that if their partner fantasizes while they're having sex with them, that's felt as a betrayal or a lack of intimacy, or almost unfaithfulness even. So it's an interesting area, but yet it seems to be very common that people need or desire or wish to use fantasy in sex. It's a turn-on for a lot of people. It's like the sexual preferences I referred to in an earlier topic, that for a lot of people they're important and they're part of the staple diet, if you like, of their sexuality. For other people they're an optional extra, for other people they're vital, for other people they're an occasional occurrence. But it does seem to cause problems for a lot of people when it becomes part of a sexual act between two different people, if one partner is using a sexual fantasy. And generally, in my experience, people who do it don't let their partner know that they use sexual fantasies. Where people do tell me about their sexual fantasies during sex with a partner, the most common one relates to thinking about having sex with somebody else who they know in real life, who obviously isn't their partner. And I think that would be part of the reason why it's so difficult to share these fantasies often, because they fantasize about real people who are not the actual person they're having sex with. Sometimes people fantasize during sex. Probably the next most commonly related to me would be that they're engaged in activities that they're not actually engaged in with their partner, but things they wish they were engaged in. But that they're afraid to mention to their partner for fear that they'd be seen as weird, filthy, disgusting, whatever.